Hello, YouTube. How are you doing this fine Friday evening? This is Untethered Live, and I'm your host, Jake Johnson, and I'll be with you for the hour or so. How are you doing out there? How are things? How's the weather? How's traffic? You know, how is I don't know. How are the bushes growing? You know what I'm saying? Things are well here. Slow. Getting ready to move over to Rumble and try my hand over there. They're working on some things for me before I get started. Some things that I had issue with. You know, no deal breakers, but just little things like the chat didn't work. I did a live stream, no chat. People wanted to chat, just didn't work. Don't ask me why. I'm using the latest version of such and such and the most updated version of such and such and good software and good hardware, and it don't work. It can't be good. So sent a message to Rumble, to their support department, and lo and behold, almost immediately they got back to me within an hour, which is crazy because, 5 years ago I sent some messages to YouTube and I still haven't heard back from them. I guess that's the difference between valuing your content creators and, usurping them. There's a difference. So it will be worthy to go over to Rumble. There's a lot of money over there. A lot of big names are growing on that platform or going to that platform to grow. And it won't be long if things keep going the way they're going. And if they keep using the attention to detail that they have as such, they will surpass YouTube in no time flat because people value free speech. I don't know if you've figured that out yet, guys. Interestingly enough, today, 2.5 years in the rear, YouTube changed a policy stating that now it doesn't matter if you say anything about the 2020 election today, 2.5 years later. Now you can have free speech. You can share your opinion because, we don't think it's really helping all that much to stifle people because they're going to get the word out other ways. Because people are smart and they know how to communicate. They've been doing it for years. There was a time when people like me would put their content out on CDs and sell them at markets and keynote speaker events and things like that. Believe me when I tell you, where there's a will, there's a way, and it can be done. If nothing else, we'll write a book. One guy, Michael Knowles, wrote a book that had nothing in it and sold 250,000 copies of it. Blank pages. Book that thick, blank pages. That's smart. You know what the title of the book was? I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember the title, but it was something like The Leftist Agenda Written Out, or something like that. The Leftist Agenda Plan, or something like that. It was about the tactics and the substance of the left ideology. It's a blank book. Brilliant. He should get an award just for that. Just the fact that people bought it. It's a blank book. You can look at it before you buy it. They knew there was nothing in it. They bought it anyway. To support an idea. Ideas don't die, YouTube. Ideas, once unleashed under the population, grow. If they're good ideas. If they're not good ideas, people talk about them. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. The best policy for bad speech is more speech, not less. If you censor an idea, it will grow out from under you. You can't hold it. You can't plug the hole. You ever heard the proverb of the little boy with his finger in the dam? holding the hole, trying to stop the leak. There's a reason that's a thing. There's a reason people talk about things like that, because that's what you're doing. You're a little Dutch boy with your finger in the dam, and you can't stop the leak. It's going to overcome you. You don't have enough fingers and toes to plug the holes. That's just how ideas work. So, if you censor speech, it rears its ugly head in other places, and then it starts a cult, and then that cult ends up taking over the world, as you can clearly see what's going on right now. That's exactly why. Had we been allowed to talk about it, we could have nipped it in the bud 8 years ago when it started. But because certain people in power had their thumbs on the scales and their fingers in the dam, we weren't allowed to talk about it. We weren't allowed to express our feelings, our opinions, which are clearly opinions. As I said, when you censored me, I told you, people don't come to me for the news. This isn't a truther channel. This is a Christian Bible channel. That's what they come here for. That's what they expect. But in conversation, if somebody asks me a question, I'm going to answer it honestly. And that's how I felt when the guy asked me the question that you censored me for. And I'll say it again. Only now I'm allowed to, because you've decided to change the rules 2.5 years later. I wonder why you did that. It's almost like something going on that you're not telling people. It's almost like you're pretty sure a certain somebody's going to win the election coming up, and you probably don't want to be on the wrong side of that when he goes to fire at everybody. That's kind of what that sounds like. To me, my opinion. Anyway. But, people don't come here for the news. And you censored me for misinformation concerning the news. See the problem here? On a news channel. So, the one thing I know for certain is that I won't have that problem over at Rumble. Not now, anyway. It may happen later. There may come a time when they change policies and, start worrying about everything. But as it stands right now, the people that are currently running the place, the policies that are currently in place, allows you to say what's on your mind without fear of repercussion, which is what the First Amendment is. Says you can do that. It's an inalienable right. And even though you're a quote-unquote private company, which you shouldn't be, it's not a good idea to do that. Read the room. Go with what works. What caused this to be a great country in the first place? It's freedom. Libertatum. That's what makes us great. When people say phrases like "make America great again," that's what they're referring to, not some mythical day that you've come up with in your head where black people don't exist. That's not what they're saying. They're saying we want to be free again. We want to be able to make choices that benefit or hurt us based on our intellect, and nobody to tell us differently. That's what we want. I don't know why this is a hard thing to understand. I suspect you know that. I suspect it's rhetoric, but whatever. If you're just joining us, I'm rambling because I have no one to talk to. So if you're in the chat, say hello. I can't trust the numbers on YouTube because they keep changing wildly. Even when I'm talking to 10 or 15 people at one time and I look up and it says there's 2 people here. That's not right. So I'm just full of piss and vinegar today, ladies and gentlemen. Full of it. It is Friday, right? 8:40. Okay, just checking. Where's everybody at? Have they finally done me in? I've been waiting for it. It's been going, teetering, downhill trend since they censored me. See, my channel was growing. And it was growing regularly. Slowly, but regularly. I could see it. I could predict it. And then I got censored. And then ever since then, nothing has been right. Ever since then, it's been slowly going downhill. I don't know why that is. Maybe the stink of being censored is on my reputation and people are just running from me. I doubt that very seriously because my subscriber account has not changed. But my viewer count has drastically from that point. Could measure it. That's when it started. So I've been waiting. Every week I come on here 4 times a week. And every time I come on, I look up there and just wonder, is today going to be the day that nobody shows up? Hasn't happened yet, but it could. And if it does, that's when I hang up the hat. I am not going to work tirelessly for nothing. Something has to come of it. If it's not money, it has to be influence. Something has to come of it. So, not to beat a dead horse. Hey, there's somebody. Hello, somebody. I was beginning to wonder if you were going to show up. I'm glad you're here. Come on in, take your shoes off, and say hello. Yep, there you went. Out the door. Let me send up a flag. See what's happening. I'll send a text out and see if I can get somebody to come. See if that works. So anyway, I've been doing a few tests over at Rumble, and they've been going well. I even did a live stream that I left up. I deleted a few that I did just because I was testing things and it wasn't really interesting or trying to be. Just trying to see what works and what don't. And I'm going to do some more. I might go live over there tonight. If nobody shows up here. I might try my hand at it, see what happens. But definitely this weekend, probably Saturday, I'll go live on Rumble and see what happens. See if they've fixed the chat yet. They said they were going to. We'll see what happens, or how long it takes them to do it. I could also probably aid them by trying a few different browsers. But I'm using Chrome, which is what all the other platforms suggest you use. They don't have a suggestion posted on Rumble, but I'm assuming it's the same. Because of something about how Chrome handles memory. It opens them up in separate boxes, I guess. Puts little things in I don't know how it works. I'm not a programmer, but it works differently than other browsers do. So we'll see. If that's the problem, it's an easy fix. Just use a different browser. And I'm also using OBS, which is a broadcasting software, and that works everywhere, so that shouldn't be it. Although, and this thought crossed my mind, while I have the most powerful computer on the planet, big monster over here, it is 20 years old. And because it's 20 years old, I have to use a different video card than what's supposed to be in it. So because of that, it doesn't show the splash screen when you start the computer up. You can't see it because it's some kind of in the OEM programming that the old video card could see that, but the new one can't because of the way its architecture is set up. So it works. It just doesn't show the beginning part of load up. You can't see the computer booting up. So because of that, I can only use Mojave, which is the third most recent version of Mac OS. I think it's Mojave. Let me check. Yeah, Mojave. I can't upgrade to the latest thing because it won't run on this machine with that video card. It has to be a specific video card, and I don't have it. It costs too much money to buy. So I'm 2 steps down. So all of the software on this machine, I have to use the third latest version of it. I can't use the latest version, and that may be a problem. It hasn't been so far, but it may be, that may be the first sign that I need to do something different. So far, it's ran everything I've thrown at it with ease. I'm using a Mac Pro, in case you guys don't know what that is, the cheese grater, the big heavy metal one. And I forget the name of the video card, but it's got 3 big fans and neon lights all over it. It's pretty powerful, but it's not the one that comes with that machine. And because of it not being the one that comes with that machine, I can't upgrade it to the latest thing. Just to when that card was designed, that's the latest version I can use, which happens to be Mojave operating system. Which is fine with me because I can't see a difference in the operating systems anyway. They all look the same to me. Going back as far as Lion or Snow Leopard is the first one I ever used. Then I retroactively used Lion, which was before Snow Leopard. And they're the same thing. There's got some better pictures in the, desktop backgrounds, but other than that, they do the same thing. They work the same way. There's a few new features in this Mojave than was in the previous version that I had, which was Sierra. Few new features, but not by much. Just a couple little things here and there, a couple tweaks. But the underall operating system is exactly the same. Works exactly the same. So it doesn't really matter to me that it's the latest version or not. Hello. Goodbye. People are popping in and popping out tonight. What's up? Is that somebody? Are you going to stay? Could be. Never know. Say hello if you are. I might just be talking to myself tonight. It is a Friday night. Everybody might be out partying. Who knows? So now you know what my system is and the reason I'm having trouble possibly with Rumble. But as soon as I solve that problem, which I'm working on currently, I will be moving over to Rumble and doing live streams there. I don't know if I'm going to move over there completely. I might still do some here and some there. I don't want to give up entirely on YouTube because anything's possible. And as long as they haven't banned me outright, there's no point in giving up entirely. But I definitely want to have other options. So that's the whole plan there. And I've thought about BitChute and other places. Hey, Lisa Reen, how are you? My connection might give out. That's what it does. Oh, we need to put a campaign together and get you some internet. Get that fixed. That's an easy fix. How are you doing? Good to see you. It might be just me and you tonight. It's looking that way. Nope, Bubby Watts is here. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. As soon as I said that, people start showing up. That's good. I was getting worried. Every time I log on, I think, is this the day? Is this the day it's going to be just me? It hadn't happened yet, but it's gotten close. And that is a direct result of when I was censored by YouTube. I could mark it from before that. My channel was steady growing in an upwards trajectory. The moment they censored me, it's been steadily going down. I went from having large crowds to having medium crowds to having almost no crowd. Imagine that. I'm going to be on and off for a bit. I just left the movie theater. What did you see? What movie did you go see? Tell me all about it. Was it good? Is it worth watching? The most recent movie I saw was Sisu. That was a great movie. Sisu is a, I want to say the Netherlands, one of those countries over there. Finnish, that's what it is. It's a Finnish folklore of a guy that just don't quit. A guy that gets wronged by the military and he just don't quit. He just keeps going for no matter what. And it's a great movie. It's kind of Quentin Tarantino-esque in the way that it's put together. It even has chapters, you know. It's kind of like a Western too. I don't know why that style seems to be pervasive in movies these days, because obviously it works. But if you get a chance to go watch Sisu, it's worth watching. It's a great movie. Very light on the dialogue and heavy on the action. And absolutely no wokeness at all. Hey, there's Kevin. What's up, buddy? Sisu, S-I-S-U. Mm-hmm. I know it's a weird name, but it is Finnish. And the main character speaks in Finnish, but he only has one line of dialogue in the whole movie, and it's at the very end. The rest of the people in the movie speak English. They're supposed to be Germans, but they speak English, and I guess that's the handoff so that everybody can watch the movie. Yeah, Sisu. I guess that's how you say that. I'm not real sure. Might be Shishu. Sorry, I saw the new Spider-Man. Just got in my car. Are you talking about the animated one? The Across the Spider-Verse? The first one was really good. So this one probably should be. Hey, there's April. Good to see you, sweetheart. I was kind of worried about you guys. Didn't show up. I felt all alone out here. Abandoned and cold and sore feet. Something. I don't know. Yeah, the animated one. Yeah, that's a good one. I recently bought on Amazon, not a plug, these things that you can put ice cubes in. But a big, gigantic ice cube to make 6 square ones or 6 round ones. And they're awesome. Makes drinking bourbon even better. That's awesome. Yeah, I've seen those big round ice cubes that fill up the whole glass. It also makes your bourbon half as much. Just so you know. If you take that ice cube out, you're only drinking like half a shot. But you could use a bigger glass, I suppose. Now I'm on my way home, so I'll be back. All right, Bubby Watts. We'll be waiting on you. April says, everybody hit that like button. Thank you very much. There's 5 people here. Excellent. I was kind of worried when I first started. I thought I was going to be here all by myself. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I'm doing everything I can do to keep the growth happening, but the day that I show up and nobody else does, that's the day I hang my hat up, I guess. There's no point in killing myself for nothing. As long as somebody's getting something out of it, I'll keep doing it. I've been at this for 5 years now. 4 nights a week. You know. And it's not completely without benefit. You know, I've done enough. I've done well enough that I could eat and keep my lights on, that sort of thing. But I'm not getting rich over here by any stretch of the imagination. 2, maybe 3 shots. Just pour more. Yeah, that's right. Use a bigger glass. April says, be safe, Bubby Watts. Yeah, I think those round ice cubes are kind of cool. I wondered how they made them. Got to have some kind of mold or something, don't you? So you can make square ones or round ones. They last a long time too, don't they? I bet they last longer than regular ice cubes. I don't know why they would, but it seems like it'd be harder to melt those. A sphere is a more stable shape. I thought my last name was bad. Then I got hired by a guy named Fartis. Your last name is not bad. Your last name is the same as my last name, actually. Hey, Caucasian Sasquatch, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. How you doing? How was your live stream? There's been a crack in the matrix. I don't know if you guys have heard about it or not. You can make the ice out of bourbon. Ooh, even better. Then no matter what you're drinking, it's bourbon. It was an episode premiere. Gotcha. Not a live stream. My bad. My brother worked with a guy named Glasscock. I believe somebody, if I had that last name and somebody asked me what my name was, I'd say Bob. They called him Fragile Dick. That's one of them people. That's one of them names people say funny, so they try to throw people off the scent. Like Glaz Cookie. What's your last name? Glaz Cookie. How you spell it? Glasscock. Oh, I get it. When I was a kid, there was a football player named Dick Buttkiss. I bet he never got beat up in high school. There was an actor named Richard Head. True story. When Squatch appears, says Kevin, it's time to get in the hot tub and have a splash party. That's terrifying. I'm not getting in the hot tub with you guys unless there's lots of Lysol involved and some baby wipes. Hey, Squatcho. Squatcho says, okay. I'm ready. I'm game. I'm afeared. You should be. The baby wipes are for you. April says, Pac-Man Ghost, Two-Spirit Heart. I don't know what that means. Maybe she likes Pac-Man ghosts. It's better than the smiley face with herpes. So, as I was saying, there's been a crack in the matrix. Today, YouTube put out a statement reversing one of their policies. I thought it was kind of interesting. I thought I'd point it out. It is a reversal on the ban of misinformation concerning the 2020 election. Now it's okay that you say things. After thousands of people lost their accounts, thousands of other people were banned or shadow banned or put in timeout. After all that, 2.5 years later, then they say it's okay to talk about it when the damage has been done and can't be reversed. Interesting. I wonder why. It's almost like they know who's going to win the next one, and they don't want to be in the room when all the firing starts. It wasn't us. We reversed the policy a year ago, see? 6 months ago, see? It's weird. It's unusual. I don't know why they would do that. Meanwhile, there's still things you can't talk about. Just that one's okay to talk about now because somebody decided so. Decided you can have an opinion now of your own, of your very own, without being told what to think on that subject only. They're planning to refute the next election. That's possible. It's a weird thing to do is all I'm saying. After all that, and everybody complained about it. I mean, it was all over the place. People whining about their accounts getting taken down and getting strikes and all that stuff for no reason, just for saying something about the election. And then 2.5 years later, they're like, oops, we changed our mind on that one. So it has to be okay now, right? Right. There's something going on. It's fishy. It's not a typical thing to do. I don't know what it is, but I can tell you there's something going on we're not aware of because they're making moves that are counterintuitive to what they've been doing. Did you see the thing on Twitter where they banned they were going to release that movie What is a Woman by Matt Walsh and release it for free for 24 hours. They had a signed contract that they were going to do this. And then at the last minute, Twitter pulls out and labels it hate speech because in the documentary, which is about gender, somebody says the wrong gender once or twice. Not the guy that made the movie, somebody he was interviewing, which is what the topic of the movie is about. And so they labeled it hate speech. And that's against everything Elon Musk has been saying about free speech and making sure that even if it costs him money, he's going to err on the side of free speech and he's going to let people have their discourse, which is why people are going back to Twitter, which is why I went back to Twitter. Well, by the end of the day, Elon Musk found out about it, and apparently it wasn't his doing. It was somebody that worked for him who has now resigned. The person involved and 2 or 3 other people quit today or got fired. They didn't specify which, but Elon Musk has now promoted the video and put it back up, and now you can see it on Twitter for 24 hours for free. I've already seen it, so I didn't need to, but I just thought that was weird how the crazies are running the asylum. And even when the guy buys the thing and tries to make it a free speech platform, they're still banning people underneath without him knowing about it. He was in China when this happened, so he didn't know about it. You can't blame him for it. But when he found out about it, he fixed it, which is a good thing. But how many times does that happen when he don't find out about it? That's my question. So the Matrix is cracking. Also, there was a lot of chatter today on YouTube about pushback about Pride Month. So apparently, a lot of people are starting to push back on that narrative. A lot of people are getting sick of it. A lot of people are getting worried about their kids and how this message is being pushed towards children. Target got caught promoting Pride Month to children specifically, and there was a little bit of chatter about that. And so there's a crack in the matrix, folks. Things are changing to some degree, although I can't predict how it's going to go. I have an assumption, but it's getting weird. That's what I'm saying. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the subject? Wow. Everybody left. I wonder why. It's almost like you're not supposed to talk about it. I approve of weird. I do too, for the most part, but there is a such thing as bad weird. There's weird that borderlines on creepy. I like weird. I don't like creepy. But you never know. I'm just reporting on the world. I have no idea what any of it means. I just know that it's occurring. And that's what the buzz has been about today. Could that mean a reversal? Could that mean that conservative ideology is winning out, that they're gaining in their power? I don't know. All I know is that it's occurring. And it's worth looking at. Because it does, whether you like it or not, affect you personally at some point. I would prefer it didn't. I would prefer that the world stay over there and I be over here and there's a gulf between the two, but it doesn't work that way. And if you got to go out in the world, it's going to affect you. I've been lucky so far in that I haven't felt any of the violence that has been happening all around the world, people attacking people and such. That hasn't come my way, but it's been very close. It's right down the road. It's happening, you know. Free marketplace of ideas always wins. I agree, Caucasian. I've always said this, and I'm not the one that invented it, but I support the idea, and that is the best disinfectant is sunlight. The best policy for bad speech is more speech, not censorship. Because good ideas win out and propagate. Bad ideas get snuffed out and go away. It's just how it works. That's why you need discourse. That's why you need healthy debate. That's why you need people to debunk ideas that are bad. When someone hits meth one time, he is weird. No, that's wired. You spelled that wrong. A second hit, he is creepy. Does that explain the difference between weird and creepy? No, but if you have any meth, you can send it to my mailbox in, an airtight container, and I will let you know. Just kidding. Wired. I hadn't felt that way in a very long time. So I don't really know. And the world was a different place when I did feel that way, so it could very well be the difference between weird and creepy. But typically, I think all things are good. Whatever you want to do, whatever floats your boat, let your freak flag fly. Just don't get any of it on me. That's all I'm asking. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you believe. I don't care how you feel. Just don't smear it in my face. Simple as that. Let me be me. I've already allowed you to be you. Why won't you allow me to be me? See, it's a double standard. If you want to be accepted for your weirdness and you want it to be normalized where nobody can even call it weird, then why won't you accept my worldview and let me be normal? Seems like a logical statement to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Polk County meth is the best. We are proud of our cookers down here. I hear you, brother. And I will concur for, 1996. Don't know anything about currently. But that TV show, Breaking Bad, seems to think that meth can be way better than it was. And if that's the case, I'd like to try some of that blue stuff. Because that ain't nothing like anything I had. MBTV, what's up, buddy? Good to see ya. This just wants me to go back and finish up the final season of Breaking Bad. Yeah. Have you liked it so far? I'm telling you that if your sensibility is as I think it is, you're not going to be happy with the climax of the movie, the final episode. I wasn't. But then again, I can't say they're wrong because that's how it should turn out. That's all I'm going to say on the subject. Damn, you're right. Excellent show. Just watched Gus get blown up. Oh, okay, so you're on that episode. That's a good one. At the nursing home to walk out adjust his tie with half a head and then fall. Fantastic. Yes, it was a good show. It really was. One of the best shows on television, I think. I haven't seen everything, but what I've seen, that's the best one. Best storytelling, anyway. They could get a lot out of very little. Like have you seen the Fly episode yet? Has that happened already? I can't remember where it lies. There's an episode that's from the perspective of a fly, like a fly on the wall. And the whole episode is like that. It's really good. Caucasian says, MVTV. On the first episode of the last season. So appreciate good writing. Yes, I watched the Fly episode. Okay. So that's really good the way they wrote that show, that episode. And they do that a lot. Different things, not just that one thing, but whoever was in charge of that writing room really had their stuff together, because they put together a story that for the most part is a boring story. There's really nothing going on, but somehow they make it interesting to the point where you can't look away. And it really, I mean, the whole series could happen in a week, you know, the whole series. There's nothing happening for the most part. It's just everyday mundaneness. Yet it's intriguing and you can't not watch it. It's that good. My nose is itching. Wonder if somebody's going to shove a dollar bill in my nose. They foreshadow each episode the same season and really worked. And then switched to other forms. Well done. Of course, I'm binging it all at once. Yeah. Imagine if you had to wait every week for a new episode to come out. You would be on the edge of your seat the whole week waiting for the next episode, because they keep it like that. They keep you wanting the next episode. Very good writing. That's a master class in storytelling. Because they start off from a position that most people are against. They want you to watch a story about drug addicts and drug dealers. And most people are against that. But for some reason, it's intriguing. You can't not watch it. That's great storytelling. Caucasian says, replaced my thermostat today. The radiator drain plug was broken, so I'm getting a new one. Can't drive it till tomorrow. Well, get her fixed. Take care of your vehicle. It'll take care of you. I hope that was the only issue you got. You got to wonder what caused the thermostat to go bad. Something caused it. Could it be that radiator plug? What kind of vehicle are we talking about? This is new to you, right? Yes. And I can't remember what he called it. It's one of those SUV type things, like a RAV4, but not a RAV4. No, I can't remember what he called it. He'll tell you in a minute. My brain is frazzled. Frazzled, I tell you. Looks like some rust was accumulated. Maybe Xterra. That's what it was. Just got bitch slapped by a thunderstorm. Xterra, aye. Got you a thunderstorm going on, huh? It's been raining here for a week, but it didn't rain today, so that's a good thing. April says, I'm driving, y'all, so I'm listening. It's raining here now. I think we're getting ready to get into the hurricane season. I think that's why it's raining so much. It feels hurricaney anyway with all the wind going on these days. MVTV says, big, huge flood watch. Heavy rain warnings for 2 days and dodged them all until now. Like an ant watching those monsters stomp by. I don't even know if they can perceive us. We might be way too big for them to even see. Or maybe it was the wrong thermostat too. Hot. I don't know if the wrong thermostat would even fit in the hole. I don't know much about that sort of thing. The few times I've had to change a thermostat was on an older car, so I don't know anything about the newer ones. Kevin says, I'm not driving, but I'm riding. Later, it will be the other way around. Oh, yeah. All right, pervert. I love to hear about the sex lives of my cousins. It's just my kind of creepy. Come on back, got your ears on? So I think I'm going to go over to Rumble tomorrow night and do a live stream there. If you guys want to come by and help me work on it. I got to get that chat working somehow. I have already spoke to the people at Rumble, and they've already assured me they were on it. So maybe the next time I go live, the chat will work. I don't know. Don't do much good to go live if you can't chat. But we'll see. Caucasian says, it's a common Nissan type. A bunch of trigger temperature. I chose to go 10 degrees cooler in general. I'm telling you, you should just drill a hole in it and put it back in there and it'd be fine. I don't think it's ever going to get that cold in Georgia that you need a thermostat. Maybe the coldest day there, but I doubt it. You probably wouldn't be out and about on that day anyway. Thermostats are really for northern exposure. I've had many cars. Now, this was older cars I'm talking about. I don't know about the new ones. They may be too sensitive with computers and all that and specific flow temperatures and things like that. I don't know. All aluminum. But the older cars, I've had many of them that we just took the thermostat out of it. Didn't even have one. It's fine. We're still in the driveway. So what you're saying is April lied to me. You're not driving. You're parked in a driveway. Soon you'll be driving on a parkway, but whatever. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's April. I think it's June. It's June, not April. In 13 days. Yep, in 13 days, season 2 of Strange New Worlds comes out, and I cannot wait. I'm excited. Can't wait to watch it. MBTV says this storm dropped the temperature from 89 to 62 in about 10 minutes. Wow. Talk about global warming. Went from shorts to thermals. Not that 62 is bad, but the difference is chilly. Yeah, well, when the temperature drops that fast, it's amazing you don't have shivers. It shouldn't drop that fast. That's 20 degrees. $28 degrees. And take off. So you're on your way. Good deal. Where you guys going tonight? Are y'all going to a party, or are you going out to eat? What's up? It's a lovely day over here at Studio C. Has not rained all day. Been bright and sunny outside. That means tomorrow will probably be thundering and lightning all day. Pouring down rain. Can't have it all. It's that time of the year. I didn't get a lot done today. I had the day off today, so I slept most of the day, which is typical of my days off because I don't get very many. And I threatened to do a few things today, but it just never happened. Because I'm lazy, that's why. I'm just tired. Tired. Lisa Reen, did you leave me? Hello. She was here for a while. What is that? Oh, I know what that is. Sorry. Messing with my layout here. I'm kind of excited, though, about the Rumble move if I can get everything worked out. I need to be able to send out notifications. I need the chat to work. And I need to not have to change the stream key and server every single time I go live. Those are the three things that I found that I need fixed. I never used to care that much about storms, but now, with actual crops, each forecast is watched. And this is less than 2 acres in at this point. I can't imagine farmers with huge fields and must make it. Well, I can because I live in a town, or I live in the country, but there's fields everywhere. And all these guys grow whatever's growing that year, corn or tobacco or whatever. And I have personally seen them just lose a field. There's nothing we can do. Got too hot today, so all the corn scorched. So cut it all down and start over. I've seen them do it. So in that vein, I think it's government subsidies that keeps them going, because I think they get some kind of credit for all that corn that they can't use. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I'm pretty sure that they just turn in a number and they get a certain amount of cash back for that corn that they couldn't sell. It ain't as much as if they sold it, but I think it keeps them going. But I've seen it happen a few times. It rained too much and the water gets too thick, and then all the corn dies or drowns or whatever. Yep. It's not a fun thing to do, to be a farmer. I couldn't imagine having to live that way. I don't know why in the modern world people choose to do that, but I'm glad they do because I like corn, among other things, and tobacco. So I'm glad people still do it, but it don't seem fun. Or you have to grow it to eat during the winter. I'd go nuts. I have learned there will not be hail if I take the half hour to cover everything, right? That's just Occam's razor. Like if you wash your car, it'll rain. Seems to happen that way. Or if you try to cut the grass, it'll rain. Seems like it anyway. Of course, I grew up in Florida, and it kind of rains every day there. So, I grew the sweetest sweet corn last year, but not very much. but going gangbusters this year. Excellent. Send me a bushel if you get a big yield. I'll eat some of that corn. Yummy, yummy. I do not have a green thumb. I have a black thumb. I can't grow anything. Everything I try to grow dies. I planted some tomatoes one time, and they started growing. I had 6 big bushes of tomatoes. As soon as they turned red, I went out there the next day, and squirrels had eaten them all off the vine. So I was like, screw this. I'm not growing tomatoes just to feed the squirrels. That's Murphy's Law. Occam's razor states that all things being equal, the likeliest explanation is the simplest. That is true. And by the way, a lot of people get that confused with Sherlock Holmes's adaptation of Occam's razor, which is, if you remove the improbable, whatever remains, however impossible, must be the truth. Or some such. I've called people out on that before because they quote the wrong thing. But you're right, that is Occam's razor. All things being equal, the simplest answer is always the right one. Which, if stated the way I said it, would be Occam's razor. If you try to cut your grass or wash your car, it's going to rain. Because that's just the way it is. But you are right. Murphy's Law is everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And usually does. And I know people, I am one of those people, that Murphy's Law is like a haze over my life. No matter what I do, it's going to screw up. Nope, that has nothing to do with Occam's razor. What has nothing to do with Occam's razor? Challenge me. I'm not going to challenge you. Why would I challenge you? What are you saying has nothing to do with Occam's razor? I think you might have misheard me. If you look at it that way, yes. If you look at it the way I stated it, no. If every time you wash your car it rains, then yes, that's Murphy's Law. Or if every time you go towards your car it rains. But if you look at it the way I stated it was, it's like every time you wash your car it rains. That's Occam's razor, meaning the simplest answer is the right one. It's going to rain if you wash your car. Occam's razor would be hearing a thud on your roof. It's likely to be a UFO or a loose branch. Yes, same thing. Different metaphor. Could be a UFO. Not likely. Wow, talk about mixing the two. I do that. I'm operating on a stream of consciousness. I have 20 things going on in my head and one thing going out of my mouth. It's bound to happen. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that's what I said. I said what I said. But I like the idea, and it gives me something to talk about. So that's a good thing all the way around. Shh. Phone's binging over here. And I said challenge time, not challenge me. You misstated it. So I can only go with what I heard. All good. Yeah, I do that too. I can't see, remember? Lucky I can read the chat at all. I saw the E. So I just assumed it said challenge me. Either way, I accept. It's all good. Ain't nothing but a thing. It's making the night go by. We are halfway there. Where is there? I don't know. But it is somewhere. And when we get there, I will tell you where that somewhere is at. All right. I think I followed that. You're going somewhere, but you don't know where somewhere is that you're going. So you'll let me know when you get there. Got it. I'm, however, going nowhere. Fast. I hung out with Caucasian Sasquatch last night on his live stream, which is an inaccurate statement because he doesn't bring me up when I show up. He brings me up after he ends the live stream, which is a little disrespectful, but I'll take it because I like hanging out with my cuz. But it was good. Good conversation. We talked for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And Fab Daddy was there, and he did most of the talking. But if you want entertainment, go check it out. It's entertaining. I think we were watching a movie, but I don't think we got into it. I think we spent most of the time talking about random things. What was it, Caucasian? Are you still here, sir? We're going to have ourselves a really good Bible study on Sunday. We're in a really good part of the Bible right now. Really interesting story being told. Kevin says, in September, we are going to an Elvis Fest, believe it or not. It is great 3DY event. I don't know what DY means. If you like Elvis, the event is run by Ida, Elvis tribute artists. I recommend going. I'd love to go, but it's in Florida, and, you know, it's a good ways away to ride on a motorcycle. But I've pretty much seen all the quality Elvis impersonators, and the rest of them just aren't that good, so I don't know. I don't know how that would go. But April will love it. She's really into that sort of thing. I prefer my Elvis genuine and from the 70s. I ain't crazy about the earlier Elvis. I like the 70s Elvis. In my opinion, that's when he was at his best. Specifically, the Elvis videos from that hotel when he did his residency in Las Vegas. That was some good stuff. In the white jumpsuit. I know you know what I'm talking about. I think it was the Grand. It might have been a different one, but I think it was the Grand Hotel. It's the one that's not there anymore. They tore it down. Big, kind of C-shaped hotel. Can't remember the name of it. Anyway, that was really good stuff there. Some of the best Elvis songs came out of there. And definitely the best Elvis videos came out of there. There's a documentary called, I think it's called That's the Way It Is. I think that's the name of it. You should check that out if you really like Elvis, because that's one of the best Elvis documentaries I've seen. They are done all over the country. The best ETAs are Dwight Eisenhower, Dean Z, Bill Cherry, and Sean Cluth. We love them all. MVTV says, I was a kid in L.A. during his peak movie career because of that and being filmed in the same area, I was sure that was the world. Kind of shocked to learn later he was a singer. Really? That's interesting. I know that happened because for a while after he got out of the service, that's all he did was movies. He didn't go back on tour for quite some time until that CBS special that he did to come back. And then after that, he went back on tour. But for a long time, he didn't put anything out musically. It was just movies. So that's your age. I never cared for the Elvis movies. I always thought they were terrible. And I think he thought that too. He really wanted to be a real actor. He didn't want to do any more musicals like the Clam Bakes and the such. He wanted to do like real westerns and real characters and real drama. But the Colonel wasn't having it. He had him locked in. I don't know what he had on Elvis, but it was powerful, whatever it was. Elvis was not just an actor or a singer. He was the king, baby. He was the king. Ain't nobody ever been like him. I like watching those. If you go on YouTube, there's all these reaction videos of young girls discovering Elvis for the first time, and they react to him. I love those. Even now, many, many years after his death, he still has that effect on girls. It's amazing. There's not an entertainer alive that don't want some of that. I promise you that. And there's not an entertainer alive that can have any of that. Elvis had it all. There ain't no more to go around, unfortunately. Now, when I was a young man, I didn't like Elvis. I wasn't into it. But as I've aged, I've grown to appreciate what he brought to the table, and it's quite spectacular. He really did have more charisma than anybody. I knew Elvis, Frank Sinatra, and Dean Martin from their movies. Yep, he sang in some, but I really did not put it together. Late 60s now. Of course, limited media. I can imagine. They had like a formula. They were churning these movies out cheap, and they all were basically the same movie or different versions of the same idea. And that's just the way movies were made in those days. But I think he really wanted to be a real actor, you know. He really felt like he could do that. Never happened. I'm not aware of any movie he ever acted in that was like a real drama. I think maybe the one where he's a Creole. I think maybe that was the closest he ever came. There's a couple of westerns that he did too, but I never saw them, so I don't know how they went. Ask me. The Beatles are, does that say all-time place? I guess that's what that says. I really do not like any of their music and could not understand their fame. Would not voluntarily listen to any. Some were functional but awful. I agree. I don't like the Beatles either. I appreciate what they brought to the table because it was unique. They did do something different to music that other people did, but I'm not a fan. I never liked their sound. Beatles were all time and place. Only a product of timing. Yeah. I agree with that. They were also one of the first bands that were put together as a industry. Like they built the Beatles and then they sold it like a product. It's the first time they ever did that, or one of the first times, like a boy band would be today, where it really doesn't matter who's in the band. The only thing that matters is the brand. Only this particular time, it was those four guys were the brand, so you couldn't change that. But they sold it as a brand more so than an entertainer, and that may be why they got so famous. And seems like I remember reading something about them working a deal with their publishing rights, where they got the rights to their music, which is unheard of. And so that's why they got so rich and was able to do the things they did. But if you watch that Peter Jackson documentary, it was 6 hours of them rehearsing, basically. That's quite informative. You learn a lot about the Beatles that they didn't talk about back then. Very interesting. For example, in Crawling King Snake, Jim Morrison, at one point, breathes a yeah in a perfect place. That is more style than any Beatles song. I agree. The Beatles needed more cowbell. Yep. And they needed something. I've never been real crazy about their stuff. There's maybe 2 songs that they did that I would do. You know, maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't think there's 3. But they were unique, and they did have a different approach to music. They used chords that most people don't use, and they used harmonies that most people don't use. So for that contribution to music, I appreciate what they did, but I'm not a fan. I am, however, a fan of Elvis. I didn't start out that way, but I grew into it. And I appreciate Elvis. And everybody around Elvis just seems lackluster when you see Elvis. If you see Elvis and then you go see Carl Perkins, you're like, if I was him, I'd just quit. There's just no competition here. None whatsoever. It's not even the same ballpark, let alone the same sport. Holy frack. Lightning strike right above that didn't hit, but cracked like the atmosphere was igniting. The cat sure ran in fast. No power loss, surprisingly. Wow. It must be right over your head then if it sounded like that. I'm actually kind of worried about that for hurricane season this year. I got a lot of old trees in my yard, and I'm scared one of them's going to fall on my house because the ground here ain't very deep. The roots kind of go out across the ground. They don't go down. I've had 2 or 3 trees just fall over, and just luckily none of them fell towards the house yet. So I think I need to go out there with a chainsaw and cut all the limbs back, just make sure there ain't nothing to fall on the house except for the trunk, and hopefully it won't. Because if you've ever seen what a tree can do to a house, it's terrifying to think you could be laying in bed when that thing crashes by. I haven't seen thunderstorms like this since Kansas City many years ago. Not too many on the front range that acted like a wall. That's terrifying, too. I hope you'll be all right. Don't go outside. Get struck by lightning. Scary. All right. It's 9:45. Let me do this little thing real quick. Hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you get notifications when I come online. Smash the like button. It's free. It's effortless. It's right in front of you, and it really does help the channel with the algorithms, and it helps us get recommended to other people. So won't you do that, please? Share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't love. Bring them into the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. Leave comments down below and let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform with me, drink my Kool-Aid. Make your own Kool-Aid as long as you're thinking critical. That's what I want. Critical thought coming from that brain of yours. And hey, if you dig what I'm doing and you can see the value of what I'm trying to create here and you'd like to be part of that, or if you feel led to just help out in some way, or if you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee and say, hey, nice job, Jake, I dig what you're doing, you can do that. You can support me at paypal.me/jakejohnsonband, or if you're a Cash App user, you can go to $JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps. It's a blessing, and it's a win, and I appreciate it, and I'll do everything in my power to be worthy of it. And also, come check me out on Rumble, rumble.com/UntetheredLive, or Spotify, or iTunes, or Amazon, or Google, or anywhere podcasts are done, you can find me there. Now, let's round out this video, and I will answer all of your questions and comments. Bubby Watts, I'm back, and I got 15 minutes left. For what? Are you going to blow up or grow appendages? What's happening? MVTV says, I was on the front page of our paper when a giant cottonwood crashed down over my porch, missing the glass-walled octagon cabin by inches and ended up propped up by the porch. It's terrifying. April says, driving, I love you all. We love you too. Until it's the time of the hour. I got you. 15 minutes left till 10 o'clock. Got you. Understand. You still haven't told me where you're going, just that you're driving. Where are you going? What are you going to do? Are you getting in any trouble? Are you looking for something? What's up with you? I'm just sitting over here staring at a camera. I wonder where Lisa Reen and Caucasian went. It is the time of the hour. Bubby Watts says, I drove home, LOL. Yeah, you enjoy that movie, though, right? I do want to check it out. The first one was pretty good, so I hope the next one is. I hope this one's good. I believe you said it was good, so I trust you on it. If you guys haven't done so, though, go check out Sisu. I think you'll really enjoy it. Sisu, Sisu. It's a Finnish movie, but it's worth it. It's a good movie. I don't particularly care for foreign films, but this one was well done. And most of it's in English. So there's that. Hang on, I'm texting somebody that just texted me. And why didn't you say that over the chat instead of making me text on the phone? MVTV says, I had a loose rabbit in the house yesterday. Really? I walked outside last night and saw my little baby kitty with a rabbit halfway down its throat. It was a baby rabbit, but the only thing sticking out was his hind legs, and he was growling. We didn't want nobody to take that rabbit from him. He didn't share it with any of the other cats. So, At least one cat got fed. Cat brought in a cottontail buck, only about half grown. Went behind the washer, of course, but so scared it let me pick it up in a towel. Cute little bugger. Well, the one that I saw, I only saw its back legs and its tail, so I couldn't tell you it was cute, but it was definitely going down that cat's throat. I've never seen a cat swallow a rabbit whole before, especially a baby cat that's never eaten anything bigger than a little nugget. But it did. It seemed to know what it was doing, chewing on it, sucking it down. Then it had a big old fat belly, digesting that whole rabbit. I guess it ate the whole thing. I never saw a carcass anywhere, or bones. It was actually kind of amazing. It was up against the wall, and I could see the cat hovered over the wall, and I was like, what are you doing? And I turned it around, and there was a rabbit sticking out of his mouth. Oh, criminy, there has been many horror shows in my bedroom in the morning. Some crime scenes, some horrors in progress at my feet. Well, this is definitely the first time I've ever seen a cat eat another animal whole, but it damn sure did. Quite distressing, but yeah, I realize that depending on the circumstances, they could be bringing me dinner each time. Yeah, they didn't bother to share any of it, that's for sure. And I come out a little bit later, and that cat was laying up on the steps with a big old round belly. I was like, you didn't share that rabbit with any of the other cats, did you? They didn't get none of it. You hogged the whole thing. Poor cat. I bet he's got indigestion today. My cats are greedy. Yeah, I think most cats are. I think they don't give a damn about you. I got to feed them, but they don't ever try to feed me. Which would be a good thing, because I'm down to garlic toast. I could use a rabbit. They decimate the voles and the mice. Though good job. Sure that cat didn't chomp it in half first like mine. I didn't see him swallow the whole thing. When I went outside, the legs and the tail were sticking out of his mouth, and the rest of the rabbit was down his throat. I don't know how he got it in there. I didn't see any carcass. All I saw was a fat cat, so I just assumed he swallowed the whole thing whole. I don't know. Cats are greedy, but I love them with all my heart. Yeah, they're nice animals. But where are the heads? What do you do with the heads? Oh, the horror. The horror. I think he ate the head. I think that went first. It was an interesting sight to behold. I wish I'd have had my camera with me. I'd have filmed it, but I didn't. It was too late, and I was in the middle of a podcast anyway, so. That's last night I was on Caucasian's channel. Have more fun with these ringneck pheasants. I don't know that I've ever seen a pheasant before. Is it like a mouse or a bird? Maybe if I saw one, I'd know what I was looking at, but I don't know what a pheasant is. Other than some kind of critter. But I know what a cottontail rabbit is. I saw the ass into one last night. Phineas will stand outside my door and squawk for treats and then walk over to eat it. Look him up. Ringneck. Huge game bird. It is a bird. Okay. With incredible colors. You've seen one. I'm sure I have. I just didn't know if it was a bird or a field animal. But now that I know, I know. We have guineas around here, which are they look like little turkeys with spots on them, and they don't fan out like a turkey does. It's kind of like a cross between a turkey and a chicken. Be careful. April is parking the car. That's terrifying. She parks like Ace Ventura does. Here we are. Three other males are around. Yesterday, a female was dust bathing by the barn, and I startled it up to fly 30 yards, and in meantime, two males from other directions burst up and fought for a second. The eagle has landed. So where are you? You've got me in suspense now. At least she does not put on makeup while driving. She absolutely does. I've seen her do it. The big cockroach crawling up the wall there. We are not in Kansas anymore. Note, says MVTV, they do not have they do have harems of like 20 females, usually hide, but I saw the group once or twice. They're about the size of chickens, except with their huge long tails. Okay. It's kind of like a peacock. We got some of those around here too, peacocks. Most of those are in Florida, though. But I've seen them here in North Carolina. You ever seen an emu? That's an interesting bird. Jake, I kind of lied. I'm actually at my grandparents' house. I'm just having some conversations with them, so that's why I've been a bit absent. I hear you, brother. No problem. No need to clarify. I understand. That's my nickname, Mr. Peacock. Is it because you have bushy tail feathers? Or is it because you're penis-centric? Lead with the penis. Or is it because you have a tiny penis? It looks like a P. Because that's P-E-A, not P-E-E. I'm just asking. I'm going with the bushy tail feathers. I bet that's what it is. I bet every spring you look at April and go, you ever seen this before? Their tails are like peacocks in that they are colorful and long. Unsure about their penises. Nope, my middle initial is P, and that's my last name, Cox. Put it together, my hammer is enormous, by the way. Well, you know what they say about people that refer to their penises as a hammer. Walter Davis, what's up, buddy? You always come in at the last minute. I need to get you on an hour earlier. How are you, sir? Hope you're doing well. I just think it's trippy to see this game bird get used to me and getting closer each time. Hey, Walter. Yeah, that's pretty cool when you can tame the wild beast. I've been working on these cats for about a year now, and I've got most of them. There's two or three of them that won't come up to me, but the rest of them will let me pet them now. So they kind of domesticated a little, but they're still wild. But every time I open that back door, there they are wanting some food. They're going to eat me out of house and home. I'm going to have to change Feed Jake to Feed Jake's Cats. Hi, Jake, Montana, Kevin, Bubby, April, Squatch. Hi, Walter. I'm glad you could drop by. Walter Davis says, I had dinner at my mom's. I headed home now. How's Mom? Good, I hope. Bubby Watts is having dinner with his grandparents. The 2 rabbits I fed during the winter will come right up if I call, but avoid the cats. Duh. They're very fast and probably will lose my garden later because of it. Probably. Rabbits do like to eat vegetables. But it's nice. I got some rabbits in my yard too, but apparently the cats will eat a rabbit, so they won't be there long, I'm sure. Nah, I'm just chilling with my grandparents. I don't see them too often. Well, it's good that you take the time to see them. I'm sure they appreciate that. Walter says she's okay, kind of forgetful, asks the same questions over and over. Well, you don't have that. Just answer them. Makes her feel good. Getting old ain't for sissies. Yep, I'm spending the night with them, says Bubby Watts. That's excellent. I'm sure they're grateful to have a grandson like you. All my parents and grandparents are dead, so I can't go see mine. All I got's the podcast. So you're my grandparents, my parents, my friends. Bubby Watts says, yep, especially my grandma, LOL. Well, I guess April and Kevin ain't ever going to tell me where they're going, so I'm going to go to bed now. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hit the like button and subscribe and share. And if you can, go to paypal.me/jakejohnsonband or CashApp, $JakeJohnsonBand. I'm getting out of here. They're big Trump supporters. Good. So they're smart, is what you're saying. No one really visits my sister. My sister is there with her husband running the farm, so I'm there during the week. Well, it's good of you to be there, buddy. I appreciate that. And I know they do. MVTV says my dad is 87 and still drives. Not with me in the car, though. Aha. All righty, Jake. God bless you. God bless you too, Bubby Watts. April says, heart. Heart back at you. MVTV says, later, Jake. Have a good weekend. Safe travels and chat. Safe travels, chat. Bubby Watts says, yes, LOL. Walter Davis says, take care, all. God bless. God bless you all. And if you're not busy tomorrow night, come check me out on Rumble, same time, 8:30. I'm going to do a live stream over there and see if I can get that thing functioning properly. So if you want to come hang out, help me fix things, come on over. Have a great night. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves and don't do nothing I wouldn't do. And above all, thanks for watching. Oh, what time? 8:30. Same as this time, just tomorrow night, Saturday night. I haven't scheduled a time to go live over there yet, like a every week thing. Right now, I'm just trying to learn the platform and get everything together. I will send the video again. Good night, brother. Good night, and I'll look, see if I have it. I don't recall you singing a fart song. But I'll check it out and see if I can find it. And, yeah, send it to me again. Gotcha. God bless, Jake. God bless you too, Bubby Watts. Thank y'all for watching. Have a great night.